Hey everyone, welcome back to Crime Media. That's Krime Media. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. This is an update on Quinton Simon, missing from Savannah, Georgia. He's 20 months old. Whew, this case, I'm going to tell you, there's a lot going on. Some of the things that I'm updating: one, the mother lost custody. The grandma, Billy Joe Howell, has custody of little Quinton and his older brother. Now, the mom does have a newborn. I think she's approximately around 2 months, maybe 3 months old. And to my knowledge, she still has custody of that child at this time. Not sure if all three of these kids have different dads. I know that Quinton has one daddy. The little girl that she just had is with Danny Youngkin. The oldest baby, I'm not sure who his father is, if it's the same as Quinton's or if it's someone else. There's a lot going on. God, I don't even know where to start. There's been a lot of reports of abuse and neglect with these children. Their neighbors have come out and said they saw Quinton playing, next to the road in the ditch. He would be outside with no adult supervision. There's been statements from, neighbors and the babysitter and etc. that say they had seen bruises on him. Now, keep in mind, there is a hotline number that is set up for tips going to the police department there. It is 912-667-3134. If you have any information, if you've seen this baby, please call that number. In the 911 call, it has not been completely released. They will not release the portion of hearing the mother actually making the call, but 911 dispatchers have released their communication with law enforcement to have law enforcement go out. Now, in that, it was stated the mother said the door was open and that Quinton could not open the door. She thought that someone came in and took him. Well, I'm going to dispute that right off the top. And the reason I say that, guys, is I have 3 children. I have 3 boys. My oldest son, when he was not even 2 yet, could open our front door. He could open our back door. He could open any door he wanted. And I literally, because I feared him getting out, I lived next to a busy road at the time. I had a pond on the property. I literally put chains and slide locks at the top of my door where he could not reach them, because he would climb up on the chair. I started off with the latch, just up. If he was standing on the floor, he wouldn't be able to unlatch. No. Smart little booger climbs up in a chair and unlatches it. So I wound up moving them over so that he could not reach them by climbing up on the chair. Thank God the chair was a heavy, antique type chair, so he could not push it to move it to get out. But yeah, a 20-month-old child can open a door. So I dispute that. Now, I have heard that Leonie, which is Quinton's mother, I heard she failed her polygraph and she is lawyered up. Now, honestly, I can't say that I know this to be a fact. I have not seen any documents stating this as a fact. But I have heard in numerous different, I'm just going to say videos, that, yes, she had failed her polygraph and that she is lawyered up. Now, going back to the neighbors, one neighbor that lives, the street kind of like does a T or so, and they live on the street that kind of crosses the street. Their street kind of dead. Quinton's family's street kind of dead ends into these people's street. This lady, she posted a message saying that, they, at points in times, the kids would be in the yard, no adult supervision, that it looked like at times not too long ago that maybe the police weren't as present there, that they must have been searching in other areas. Also stated that on the morning of October 5th, when Quinton went missing, that the mother had left the home. She was gone for quite some time, and she returned shortly before the call to report him missing happened. In my opinion, that kind of screams more guiltiness toward the mother, possibly disposing of Quinton. Now, where she could have went, I don't know, because if you go on a couple-hour trip, I mean, you can cover a lot of distance. And, I think that's very odd that, you would be gone. My first reaction would be, my child's missing. Let me, look outside, of course. Okay, I don't see him in the yard. Let me call the police. I need help. But, from what neighbors are saying, that's not exactly how it played out. Now, we already know, in my previous video, I stated that the babysitter shows up and asked, once she wanted to help look for him, they were like, no, we don't need no help. And then she was like, have you even called the police? And, the mother, Leonie, stated no, she had not, and then she called. So, that just screams very weird stuff to me. Now, the mother, Leonie, and her boyfriend, Danny, or Daniel, both of their cell phones were seized on Thursday the 6th. And to my knowledge, they have not been given back their phones. Now, I did see where the boyfriend, I guess, is somewhat cleared. It's, being said that he is now in Atlanta. Once again, I can't, 100% guarantee that he's in Atlanta. But, it has been said that he is now in Atlanta. I guess Leonie, is still in her mother's home, I guess. The police chief was asked yesterday, I think it was, or day before yesterday, where they were. And he said that at that particular moment, with him standing there, he was unaware of where they were. But he said, to my knowledge, they are still at her mother's home. Now, in my opinion, I think Leonie, Quinton's mother, is possibly suffering from some depression. I honestly kind of think that her and Daniel were probably having some problems. And I'm going to probably do a separate video on that, because I have a lot. Matter of fact, I did a lot of screenshots of her Facebook. And she last posted on October the 2nd, which was 3 days before Quinton went missing. But a lot of her video, or her post on Facebook, are that of someone who's kind of like going through like a breakup, or, mistrust, or, trust issues, or cheating, or I don't know how you'd want to like narrow the bracket down, but yeah, it kind of screams that there was something going on there. And like I said, I'll probably do a separate video on that, just because, yeah, I mean, if she's not in the right frame of mind, say little Quinton comes in there, he's cranky, he's hungry, maybe he needs a diaper change, whatever, and, she's suffering depression, postpartum depression because her and her boyfriend aren't, getting along, or she's just tired because, she's got a newborn and she snaps. I'm just saying, it's a possibility. And I'm not making excuses for the mother in no fashion whatsoever. I mean, if she's guilty, she's guilty, and she needs to do the time because, you know, that baby didn't deserve that. They had a babysitter. There was no reason at that point why you wouldn't call the babysitter down the street and say, hey, come get these kids. I need a break. And there would have been nothing wrong with that. Now, I don't know if you've seen the video where Leonie's mother, Billy Joe Howell, goes down the street to the babysitter's house, and literally, I mean, it's like an explosive blow up. From my, gathering of facts here, I guess the babysitter wanted to do a memorial type thing for Quinton, and that upset the grandmother extremely. She, stated that that was her baby. He was not dead. And I think she felt very hurt by someone wanting to do like a memorial for him. Well, I mean, I can understand her reaction. And I understand the babysitter, her wanting to do something for Quinton. Honestly, it's not the babysitter's place to do that. And I can understand the grandmother holding out hope, that he is alive, that he's okay, that he's healthy. Honestly, I mean, we're a full 7 days into this, a full week. I honestly don't believe that baby's alive. I hate to say that, but honestly, I do not believe he's alive. Law enforcement did state that they had spoken with the biological father of Quinton and that he has been cleared. He is not being looked at as any kind of suspect. Now, I can't give you any information on the biological father at this point because, honestly, I don't know who he is. Don't know where he lives. I do know that when Grandma got custody of Quinton and his older brother, that Leonie, the biological mother, was told she'd have to pay child support. Now, if we look at Leonie's work history, she's unemployed, so therefore she's not paying child support. Let's see. Other things I wanted to cover. The uncle of Quinton, sorry guys. The uncle of Quinton, which is Leonie's brother, is in prison. I don't know if you know this already, but he was convicted, him and two other guys were convicted of murdering a guy back in 2011 in Pooler, which is not far from Savannah. And he's serving something like a 45-year sentence. He was only 17 years old. That's, I mean, it makes things look worse. I will say that. We know the uncle didn't take Quinton. We know he's not involved in his disappearance. But it still just screams that something is very out of place here. I mean, you've got a 17-year-old that him and a couple of buddies, murder somebody, and that was in 2011. That was 11 years ago, which would have made Leonie 11 years old. We know that, she's a single mother of three. Like I said, don't know if all three have different daddies. But it screams that there's something going on. And, we've heard the arguments. We've heard neighbors talk about arguments. Her mom went to court because they were tearing up her house and there was never any peace in the house. I mean, it's almost like a black cloud is following this family, and I state that loosely. The great-grandmother, which is, I believe it's Billy Joe's mother. A few years back, the family that lived next door to her murdered two children and buried them in the backyard. in Effingham County. It's, like I said, it's almost like a big black cloud is following this family around. And unfortunately, this baby, 20 months old, is now at the center of everything coming to light. Today, I did stay, well, I saw today, the latest in this investigation, guys, is that the police and the FBI are back on the scene of the house located on Buckhalter Road. They are bringing out canine units today. Now, I will show somewhere in this video, there's going to be images that show where they've taped up a window on the house. They've stated that they have gathered, additional evidence from the home. That's been within the last couple of days. They drained the pool at the home, and which I kind of figured, from the get-go that, maybe she drowned this baby and got rid of him. It is very possible, that this baby did get out. He did drown, and being a young mother, she totally freaked. She's already lost custody. Now she's got a dead child on her hands, so she went and hid his body somewhere. That is a very, very possible and very plausible explanation as to what has happened. It still doesn't make it right. Like I said, I'm a mother. I've raised 3 children. And yes, it is hard. Yes, you lose a lot of sleep. But you get your ass out of the bed, excuse my French, and you do what you have to do, and you take care of your kids, regardless. Okay? So, I don't give any excuses if that's what has happened to this child. But they did drain the pool, and in doing so, they were looking specifically for evidence. You would drain the pool, you would collect things from the baskets, you would collect things from the pump and the filtration system. So yes, that's why they drained the pool. They are looking specifically for a connection to see if it was possible or plausible that this child drowned in that pool. Like I said, K9 units are back out at the house today, going back over every square inch. They're hoping for a lot more evidence. Now, the evidence they have collected, they do believe is going to propel this case forward. And that's one of the reasons they are not releasing the 911 call from the mother. Because that 911 call is evidence. It's going to show, the sound of her voice, her demeanor. Was she hysterical? Was she upset? Was she just, talking like she was talking to a friend? All those things are going to come into play in a trial. So, having said that, we already know her mom and her family pretty much think she's done something. They have not stated what they thought she did, but they have all stated that, yes, they think, she's responsible. And I'll be honest, I do too. Because what mother who has a child that is missing does not get up and go out and beg the media to find her children or her child? Even mothers that in the past have been found guilty of killing their children have gotten up in front of a camera. But this girl, she's not made any appearance. So, for her to not do a public plea for the safe return of her child, that is alarming. That is very alarming. Okay, guys. I've covered the majority of the things that I wanted to cover. Now, I'm going to, in this video, there's going to be a slew of different images so that, you know, anything that I've talked about that, you know, I do have some kind of photographic, you know, image of or proof of, will be in this video. I do think I'm going to do a separate video where I'm just going to, you know, briefly give a statement of this is things that I found on the mother's Facebook page. And when I say mother, I mean Leonie's Facebook page. And I may even include Daniel Youngkin's stuff on that same little thing, because he's got some very bizarre stuff on the only site that I've been able to find anything about him on. So I'll probably put those together, but you know, I hate to say it, it adds to the mindset of the mother. But I think y'all would appreciate seeing some of those posts. And I mean, there's quite a few. But what I'll do is I'll start an intro with that video. I will just then post like the images that I've collected. And you can go through and read the images, view the images. Because, yeah, I mean, I think there was something very disturbing going on. And these posts kind of, they touch on something. So, having said that, guys, I know this is probably not going to be one of my best videos. I was trying my best to get it out yesterday. I ran long on getting other things done and could not get this out. So, having said that, please remember to smash the thumbs up button. It's not saying that, you know, oh, I love this video, you know, it's sad. That's not what that's about. That is to put this video in the feed. When you first hit YouTube, the more thumbs up you have, it's going to pop up in the feed there so other people can see this. Let's hope and pray that Quinton is still alive and that he's going to be brought home safely. Hit the subscribe button. You know, let's help this channel grow. Hit the bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. And until I can get the video done on Mom, which is Leonie, I'll see you then. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for watching.